Hey guys, before you start today, we're going to be looking at the part 2 of our GTA top-down. Now, a lot of you requested, well, it came from one viewer, but then everybody else started emailing me and saying do this, do that. So, in this tutorial, we're going to be doing a Android control. Now, this is just one version of how to do it. This is basically just one way how to do it. I'm going to be doing later down the road a more advanced way how to do it, and I'll actually be sending you guys a link to the Sakari.com site or Construct2 whatever website for a really awesome tutorial that needs to be made into a video on how to do one even better. This is just the quick and dirty way how to do it in case you don't want to spend like half an hour doing it. You can just set this up in another like 5 minutes or whatever and create a very easy touch control system. Because basically you touch that, that's where you go. When you're not touching it, the button is done. Okay, so I only did one button. We're going to set up the other 3, and then we're going to set up how the character will leave his car once he has reached the spot that where he is at. The next tutorial, we're actually going to be designing the city a whole lot more. We're going to probably do one mission or set up a mission routine and set up a tutorial buy to where you have so much cash and basically 500 or something like bucks, 200 bucks, and you need to buy something. It's going to be a weapon. You're going to buy this weapon and probably some health pack or something like that, and then you have to stop some bad gangs. So you're basically, I don't know if you're going to be an undercover cop or whatever. The reason I'm doing all this is that I don't really like GTA, so I'm going to set this up and to be you're stopping the bad guys, or you're not really an officer but you are probably doing something illegal by taking out, you know, doing stuff that you're not supposed to do unless you're a officer of the law. But yeah, it's still going to be pretty awesome. So the code for this, and remember guys, always name stuff. Also, real quick, we have layers. So this UI, so I have 4 green buttons and 2 gray buttons. Those are in layer 1. So I clicked right, add layer at the top, and then by clicking on these items, I went over to common, and right under common, there's going to be a layer. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to actually just send that to the object. It'll just always stay there. So with those in the, also you need to select all those objects. So we're going to select all those objects, and we're going to, actually I think you need it, yeah, you need to do that individually. Click on layer and set it to parallax 0,0. That way it moves with your screen. Back to the actual player, we're going to go to our event sheet for that. And then under character controls, it's going to be touch is touching right square. So when your finger touches that, it's going to set that sprite to that position, and it's going to simulate an 8-direction control. Else, set the sprite to the center of the larger dark control button, and then the player will stop. So we're actually just literally going to clone that. So copy it 1, 2, 3 times. And what we're going to do is replace right with left. Done. And set it to be, of course, left. And we want up or top. So we can set it to be up. And then this one's going to be bottom. Or down. And that's how we do that. So if I were to play this, we can move that way, we can move that way, we can move up, we can move down. Okay, I have to edit some of that code, so okay, blah blah blah. So right, left, And I'm just going to copy that, paste that, and I want that to be the Y. That's done. Okay, that's another thing about debugging, is that you have to actually continually work on why it's not working. So what we can do is just delete all that and set it up normally. So it's touching left, sprite will go to left, X1, Y, simulate player going left. Is touching top, we're going to go to top and then go to X, coordinates on that, and Y coordinates on that. Okay, so we fixed it. Well, then we have an issue. So I'm going to say, to fix that, on end touch end, so it's going to be whatever touch. We're going to set the actual player button to set it to a position. I'll look up later why it's not working before, because normally it shouldn't actually hold on, else that would probably mean everything needs an else. Yeah, so the else probably doesn't need to be there. On any touch end, it's going to just reset the sprite to be the center, or set position of its bigger brother. So it's going to be in the center of that. And we're going to tell our character, our player, to just stop. That way when we play it, on any touch end, the dude does not do anything. Okay, so what we can also, again, not the best setup. I'm gonna work on it to where wherever you touch, he will actually rotate to. I'm just making sure I know and understand the code. So that works. So what we need to do is now work on the car. So when we move it, it's not just by mouse control, it's by actual setups. So we can actually use that and add an event. Actually, I need to clarify something here. So we're going to add a comment and it's a car controls. And then I need to copy and paste that below that. So again, the car is only enabled when the character touches it. So at this point I need to simulate car controls. Simulate controls, steer right, steer left, brake. So he's touching right. So you're gonna go steer right. Again, we're gonna have to test how this actually works with the car. So I'm just gonna use the mouse controls to get us there a little bit faster. We're gonna cut through the neighborhood. Boom. Okay, so that's steering right. So top up, and the button up is actually going to mean that we accelerate. And then we want to go brake on that one. Oops, this one. Okay, so we're gonna cut through the neighborhood. Have to make those trees still very independent of each other. Okay. There we go. Gotta steer right. Not the best steering system, but it does work. Use some mouse and keys. Give some gas. Again, it stops a little bit too quickly. So we need to set it up to where it will have some drag. Friction, drift recover, deceleration is probably going to be 100. On with the car, probably instead of stop, we'll have it decelerate. Set deceleration to be 300, so we can play around with that. Now let's copy that bit of code and delete that. So hopefully, you know, when we actually get in, I don't want us to actually literally just stop, because that doesn't work. Even when you slam on the brakes, it just literally does not stop. Okay, so on any touch and deceleration, go to 300. I'm gonna set this to 1,000 just to see what happens. And don't worry guys, probably in the next 2 to 3 tutorials, I'm going to have, probably sooner than that, 2 tutorials, I'm going to have my mouse control working. Okay, so that is pretty close to what I want. I'll just overpower it and say 4,000. I do want a bit of a slowdown, but and that probably did work at 1,000. Probably working at 2,000 works a lot better. I just want to oh, that one works perfect. I set it at 4,000 and it works perfect. Awesome. Okay, so what we need to do is when he presses E, he gets out of the vehicle. Well, there are a couple ways we can do this. So we can set up a sprite that always follows the vehicle. Again, we can set pin, and then he will spawn at that point, which is probably what we'll do in this video. And then we'll just set up this simple, he just exit the vehicle type setup. But at this point, we're just going to set up a sprite. So I'm going to insert a new object. Again, make sure guys that your layer that you want to select is the same with everything else and not your UI. So this building is on 0, so I actually had 1 selected instead of 0, so we want 0 selected. We're going to select our vehicle, insert a new sprite. I'm going to paint it blue because it's my favorite color, and then I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to place it right beside the vehicle, somewhere natural. Okay, so behaviors is it is going to pin, so it's going to get stuck to the vehicle. So I'm looking for something that says on start of layout right on top. We want to set sprite to be pinned to the car. Yes. Position and angle, yes. Do I need this to have a collision box? Actually, no, I do not need it. So I won't set it solid, and I actually want to run a test on that real quick. It shouldn't actually, just out of the box shouldn't. This is how we make video games. It's elegant, it's glorious. It's like really, really basic. I'm awesome driver. And back up. Yeah, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. And then what we're gonna do is when we hit E, we get out. So add event, so I'm gonna say get out of the car. And then probably need to set this up with multiple vehicles. Actually, we could always have it to where the sprite is connected to the player, but it's always like literally 3 to 4 feet out, so no matter what vehicle he's in, he spawns at that point. So it's connected him, he'll just spawn at it. Have to work at that. Probably be better to connect it to vehicles. So whenever he is attached, oh, you could always do it to where whenever he enters a vehicle, that will just pin or attach to that vehicle, but be like, say, literally like 3 feet away of the vehicle. Just make sure that it does not entangle with a solid mesh, or not mesh, a solid object. But we can actually get to that in the next 2 videos, maybe. That actually would be a very interesting thing to go over. So get out of car. So we need to, I don't know, tap on the car. Since this, I'm kind of used to press E, you get out of car, but I guess if he wants to get out of car, we can tap it. Actually, hold on one sec. Alright guys, so I forgot I had some of Kenny's UI, and if you want to know who Kenny is, he's an awesome artist on OpenGameArt, so link down below. So we're going to go to sprites, flat dark, and I'm looking for a go to previous page, meaning I'll just use it for let's get out of the vehicle. If it doesn't have it here, I'll go to one of his others, but there should be this one will do. Because it matches up with the other ones that I use. Okay, remember we're on layer 0. We actually want to be on layer 1 now because this is a UI. So we're actually going to select that. We're going to set that to be layer 1. Now it's on layer 1. So if I were to actually play this, like right now, it would follow us. So I need, there we go. Now it's following us. Now I just need to set its opacity to somewhere to where we can see it, but it's not totally blocking our view from, say, bad guys or something like that. Also, it probably should only be visible when we are, so we say in a vehicle. So once we enter a vehicle, it appears, but if we're not in a vehicle, it's disappeared. So that's something we can actually set up. Okay. So we tab that. So on touch is touching object, and this is going to be sprite 10. Done. We actually want the character to set position. Set position to another object. Set position XY to sprite 9. Done. Okay, so I need to check to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Set position enabled to disabled. Okay, so at this point, we want to disable him driving the car. So simulate control is disabled on the car. It's now re-enabled for him. We then want to disable us just staring at the car. We want to re-enable us staring at the guy. Well, making sure that we're only viewing him. Enabled. Okay, and I believe we have to set him solid again because I think we disabled him. Set collisions to be enabled. Okay, I think we have to enable his collisions. Set collisions enabled. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag that down. Okay, so this should work roughly. If not, like, just work. Come on, come on. There we go. We're in the car. We're in the car. It's somewhat going. So I'm just using the keyboard at this moment. Because it's a keyboard. And we crashed into a tree. Oh my goodness. Get out of the vehicle. Okay, we probably need to set him to be... Is he invisible or invisible? Oh, did we pin him? We pinned him. Yeah, so he's pinned to the car. Okay, so player needs to be unpinned. Let's see how we... Okay, so that actually should work to where he's unpinned to the car. We'll just get out of the car once we get into it. Get in my car. I'm gonna drive off so we can actually see everything. Escape the side of my car. I'm about to crash into an invisible wall. Turn a bit and boom. And we got into the car again. Okay, I think that needs to, we need to set it up to where it works every time you touch it, or per touch. Now, is touching, let's set that up is on tap object. So when you tap it, it should work. So this should, it did work. I just need to show it a little bit better. So let's quickly make this work. Get to a stop. If the car will stop. Oh, we're out of our vehicle. We're out. It works. Now let's just see if, okay. Yes, it does work. We can use this multiple times. Alright guys, it is getting close to almost 30 minutes per episode. I usually like to keep these short and to a point. We have our touch controls. We have ourselves getting in and out of a vehicle. In the next tutorial, we will be collecting some cash because one of our friends has a stash of cash he left for us, or we left ourselves a stash of cash somewhere. And now we're going to be buying ourselves a weapon and taking out some bad guys. We'll have some basic bad guy AI. We will also be probably going into character animation, so get ready for that. Again, if you remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Also use the Amazon link down below to help us out. Remember, anything that you buy, we will get a small, basically a small ad donation, whether from Amazon or from the store seller, whatever that you bought it from, which we can then hire artists and improve the tutorials here at this channel. Thumbs up guys if you liked it, and I will be seeing you in the next video.